Welcome back, guys. So this is Journey with me. I'm Ruwaida and I'm your host. I would just like to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Please share my channel with friends and family. So today I would just like to give you all my background story and hopefully it can help. Hopefully it can help some of you, inspire you or guide you. So yeah, second born of three children. I have an older brother and I have an older sister. And then my mother and father, they are still married. Yeah, to say they are still married. Basically, I'm just gonna start. I'm not gonna give you guys the whole life story, right? Because that I'm keeping for my book, but I'm giving you a brief intro or some details information where I come from because hopefully I can help you guys. And yeah, so I come from a background where gangsterism and violence and drugs were a norm in our household. It was something that we grew up with, and my father was a I don't know if you guys know 26 gangster, and he was a gangster long before he met my mother. And my mother was she was not a gangster, but yeah, she joined the life, his life. But where I actually wanted to start is since I could remember. So yeah, well, by what age? I think I don't know if I was 3 or 4 years old. All I remember is my parents doing drugs, right? My mother, she was a working woman. She had a good job, but then after I don't know, probably before I was 5 or so, she left. Yes, I was still very small. She left the job due to my father. When she used to come home, and then the house would be full of his friends, and they were all doing drugs in the home, and she wasn't happy with that. But she also used to do drugs with him, but not like on the level that she is on now. She was still, how can I say, normal, but he was something else. Yeah, entirely. And he was very much older than her, right? So, and my daddy was a very feared person in the community, and all over. They all knew him. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, she left the job uh, due to him, what things that he was doing and bringing people in the house and doing drugs, and we were also there, and he had to take care of us. But then, yeah, he did that, and she left the job to take care of us at home. But then she joined him, like I can say, for instance, in the crime that they committed, and gangsterism and drugs and selling drugs and things like that. And I think I was 4. I can't remember. So liquor. But I think that was the first time they went to prison. I don't know. But then they went to prison for 3 years. Um, Different people took care of us in that time. Thing wasn't so liquor. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that, right? Because that I said it's gonna be for my book. So yeah, I remember my first year of school. Um, I didn't know how to write my name or nothing because, like I said, my parents were in prison my first year of school. And then, yeah, I can still remember. I was so sad because if you could write your name, then the teacher gave you like a red ribbon on the card that you made at school. And then I didn't get the red ribbon because I didn't know how to write my name because my parents were in prison, the people that were supposed to be there, and I was supposed to teach me how to write my name. So that is something that affected me still up till today because it's something I remember. Something that left an impact because I was crying at the table because my parents were in prison and I was now um also hot so and emotional, and now they there and there's other people taking care of that things is not well and whatever. So that was also something that affected me deeply. So my first year of school was not nice at all. So Yeah, and I think I was 5 years old when I attended school. Yes, I was 5 years old, my first year of school. So after, yeah, I think yes, yeah, like I said, the drugs and things like that. My parents did that, and then they used to, like I said, they did heavily crime. I'm not going to talk about the actions, the criminal criminal actions. Yeah, and I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to expose them on here that side, but they did like yo. But anyway, but even before that, we were so used to like violence in the house. My daddy always used to beat my mother also, so it was also something that we were how can I say, exposed to also in the house. So I remember that some night we would be woken up by my mother, and then she would say we must cry, and I was, why must I cry? No, cry so that the police can't take me, that they can take my father, or that she can be there with us, and we were still small. And as I grew up, I laughed, but it's not actually a joke. They just want to wake you up. Yay, hail. No, you must cry. Because, okay, they take your mother. Then we just make like we cry most now. But anyway, let's go on. I'm now still stuck at the 5 year old. And yeah, my parents went to prison, other things happened, and then um this is actually the reason why I'm telling you this where it started, because I actually want to tell you guys how I got to know Allah. How I actually got to know Allah. So when they went to prison, um like I said, different people took care of us and stuff like that. But then my granny was there, and then one of my mother's friends or someone, they came to the house, but they were friends with my granny also. So they actually taught us how to make salah and how to like make dua. And that was something so amazing for me, because they taught me like there is a higher power, you know. You think when you are small, your parents they are like the higher power. They must take care of you. You know, they give life to you and things like that. But they taught me that there is a higher power than them, and that someone else I can cry to, and that I can look up to. That I know that is always going to be there for me. So they actually taught me that, and that was the first time I actually like really prayed, made dua, and I felt it, and and they like introduced me, my sister, my brother, to Allah more now. But my mother, she did teach us like when we were younger, but it wasn't like that. That is the first encounter I experienced. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys. But anyway, time went on. Like I said, they came out of prison after 3 years. Um, like I said, things happened, and then my mother first came out. She came out, and then she went back in. I don't know what she did, but not I don't know how long it was. But then she went back in just after coming out. I don't know if it was a month after that or whatever. And then my father, I have other daughters. They came to take care of us. Yeah, I don't know for how long. Like I say, I can't remember. And then my mother came out of prison again. And I remember we were by my grannies. You see, it's so mixed up. It's so I can't remember each moment. But we lived by my granny. The time when my mother came out, I was in grade two. I don't even remember more in a year when she went and came back, but I know she was in prison for 3 years. I'm not sure. I can't remember how old I was when they went to prison for the first time. You see, all I can't actually put the dates on. Maybe I must ask my brother. He will know because he was older. Yeah, and then my mother came out, and then we stayed by my granny. Then my mother, she got herself a job. My daddy was still in prison, and then where she got us a place, we attended school. So the first time in our life, for that, I think it was a year. I'm not sure. Life was normal. My mother went to work, and she came home, and she took care of us, and she spoiled us for that time. She was like, the mother that you always wanted or want, or like I am now with my kids. I can say something like that. She used to bake with us, sing with us. She used to, yeah, stuff like that. At night, she would tell us creepy stories, things that a mother would do. So that year was so nice for us. Like for me, my brother, my sister, it was like the first time that That I can remember that my life was normal, like a normal child. Your parents is working, you go attending school, playing when you come out of school, no violence, no hurt, no nothing. And then my father came out of prison and he had someone else. My mother also had someone else. For that time, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how long it was. I was in grade two. And then he used to come visit us and we went to him there that side. Things were okay for that time. And then my mother and him got back together. Yeah. Um, I still asked my mother, I can remember, why are you taking him back? And I loved that time I'm a child, I didn't know what right and wrong. I thought, no, that is love. That is my father showing up because he did love us. Like when we were small, he used to spoil us, but as we got older, things changed. He got worse. And so, yeah, that was the only year that I can remember that was so nice for me. I still had this friend and I was in love. I used to play with every day. She taught me how to drive bike. No, I think it was she didn't teach me, but it's the first time I was riding a bike. And then when I I was riding the bike, I tried to like lift her. She was on there, and then I rode the bike into a car. The car bumped us. We didn't get so, but it wasn't like oh, but then we just got up and laughed, and then we moved on. That was so nice, and then yeah, me and my brother used to go play at this. Yeah, no, I'm not going to tell that story at this church. We used to do a lot of things, but yeah, like I said, that year was as my mommy. Yeah, my mommy bought us tents. We put in the yard and we camp outside, things like that. And then my uncle then burned the tent off. They went to go sleep with the tent light in, and then the tent almost burnt out with them in there. That's a story for another day. But yeah, it was nice, like I said. But then they got back together. Yo, guys. And then we moved back to our house in Delft, my mother's house in Delft. We moved back there, and from there, everything got worse. They went on doing their drugs. They went on doing the crime. They said they were doing it for us. I don't believe that. To be honest, I don't believe that. Because my mother was someone that had a job. She left the job to do crime. For what? They did it for their own pleasure. Like I'm not say what hulle wil. Because I'm a grown person now. I have children. I made necessary sacrifices in order for my children to be okay and for me. So they can't come with the nonsense. I did forgive them, but I did not forget. But that is like I say, that's why I'm here and I'm trying to help to show you people how important it is to be present in your children's lives and what impact it can have on them and how your faults can affect them negatively and their life. And you can destroy your children's lives. You can make it or you can destroy it, you as a parent. But yeah, where was I now? Yeah, where was I now? Yeah, then like I said, they moved back. We went to school. The only place that was nice for me was at school because I was always like a shining star at school. Model, I sang, I danced. My brother also used to dance choir, and that was a nice place for us to be at. And but when we got home, it was the same thing. Like I said, people doing drugs in your house every single day. Your bathroom was always full of people doing drugs, people in and out. And you never, that is why the people that know me, like my family members, my brother, my sister, they know I don't like people that walk around in the night in my house. You must go sleep early because it's still affecting me. That because of that, because I couldn't even have a peaceful night of sleep. So in and out. And you know what? Me seeing all of this at a young age, I made a promise to myself that I will never do drugs. I will never in my life do drugs. And today I don't even smoke a cigarette. I never even tried to do a drug. Sometimes people say that I was on drugs. Family members say that about me, but I left them because I know God knows the truth. I never even tried it. And people judge you. They say, yeah, you are the drug lord's child. You're going to be a drug addict. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. But I showed them, me, I'm my own person. And everything I do is for the sake of God, you know, because I placed my trust in God since I was a child and I had hope in Him and He helped me. When I got hurt or anything, I cried to Him. I wasn't like other child that cried to my parents because I know they weren't there to help me since, from a small age. You understand? I knew they were a disappointment from a small age already, so I didn't put my trust and my faith in them as every child does. And I think really tried because I always showed my sister, you mustn't be the way they are. We're not gonna do what they're doing. We do different things. Um, Even as a young child, I never wanted to hurt anyone. I never wanted to steal from anyone. I never even stole something from someone. I mean, I'm how old now? I have 4 daughters, almost 40. Not almost, but in I never even, I don't want everything that they did, I did the opposite, right? So, yeah, and that's what I try to teach my sister as well. My brother also tried hard shame. And alhamdulillah, today he's okay, he's doing well, and I'm proud of who he is now for everything that he also went through. I'm not going to talk about the experience, I'm just talking about mine and a brief. Yeah, then, and like I said, it got bad. My mother, they used to party a lot, like, and they went out clubbing and things like that. For them, it was like the life. It was not, but it wasn't. It wasn't a nice life. There's times that we had a lot, and there were times that we didn't have anything. And my mother would always say that we eat right, but looking back today, I see that that isn't also right. To first tell your child that, we must go buy in drugs first before we buy something to eat. Maybe that she thought that that is her way of providing. She did try to provide for us. And I appreciate what she did, even through her drug habit. But like I said, she got worse. Today, she's not someone that I recognize at all. She got so worse. And she was the only one that we could still, like I said, depend a bit on because she showed us what love is really and how to love one another. Our father didn't give us that. Like I say, he was on his own thing. He loved us when we were small, but he was like that time. And yeah, so it got bad in and out of prison, and we had some good times, like I say, but it wasn't all good. And then when I was like like I say, in and out of prison, we lived by some family members and back, but not constant love. I can remember when I was there's so much things that happened. I don't even know what to specifically say. I was about 10 or 11 when they went into prison. I don't know. They raided the house like they always used to raid the house. And I mean, it wasn't like one police van. It was like 10, and then it was army trucks sometimes. And yeah, it was a lot, guys. Um, and in the time that everything was going on, I was just telling myself, I'm not going to be like this. I'm going to do what Allah wants me to do. And all of this chaos and violence and things are happening in your household. So how how can you be so mentally strong? But I can just thank Allah for making me mentally strong and that. And you know what? We never complained. We never went to family members and said this and that and this and that is happening. Yes, they knew things weren't liquor at home, and some of them tried to help now and then, but they didn't actually really physically. You know what I mean? Helped. Because if you help someone really physically, you take that person out of that predicament. So yeah, I was 11, and then I know they went to prison. I don't know what happened. There was nothing in the house, and then the people that usually delivered, they how do you call it, narcotics, drugs, you see, um, came there and they asked what's wrong, and so I said no, it's locked up. There's nothing to eat or nothing like that. And me as being 10, almost 11 years old, I mean, I had to be awake. I had to be back. I couldn't be like a park by, or. So they told me, no, here's some drugs, sell it, and then you can bail your mother and father out of prison. And then I did that. Because what was I supposed to do? My sister was there, she had to eat. And then I did that, and then they came back, they came to fetch the money, and then they went to go bail them out. And that's something I did only that once, and I never did it again in my life. Never, ever, guys, never. Like I said, I made a promise to myself, I asked God to forgive me, but I was a child, you see. And there were many times where I had to see that my sister must eat, but that's something I'm going to talk about at the time. I'm not here to make my parents bad. I'm here to teach and to be inspire others also, and to show parents how important it is to be just to be good parents, to see that your children attend school, to see that they have a good environment around them. Yeah, so I said, things got bad. After that, I came out. We attended school in Bellona, and we had to walk for every single day. But I loved school because, like I said, it was the only place where I could be. I felt normal, right? And out of the house. My brother never loved school because he was always fighting, yeah, because the anger, things like that. But he attended school. But after the year, we were kept out. It wasn't nice, guys. You go to school, you don't know what's going on. You must not catch up and things like that. And then eventually, my father took us out of school. You couldn't say anything because your parents is doing drugs and there's no one taking care of you. I think I was 12 when they took us out of school. Yeah, and I cried to go to school. Then they would just tell you, yeah, no, I don't even want to tell you. Just keep your mouth closed. Show your moon why you're going on or whatever. And eventually, I didn't have any. Like I said, we didn't have any other family members that we can run to and say, oh, help me, whatever. We had to just take everything in. My mother got so was on took, that she went off from her head from drugs. She wasn't normal for the time. And when she started took that drug, she became a different person. Like I said, she's still not the person I know today. That Shamila that I knew. But yeah, and then he took us out of school because he used to beat my mother every morning also before we went to school. So that was also something. Then you at school thinking, yeah, your father's beating your mother now, and she just had to be strong. Yes, she went a lot of things through. That's why I say I forgave her for what she did, and I even forgave him because today he's trying to be a better person with my kids. Um, but it's not something I forget easily. And yeah. So because out of school, a lot of bad things also happened in that time. I went to some family members, me and my sister, and I did ask for help and just asked them to put me in school. That's actually what I wanted because I knew if I have an education, I can make a life for me and my sister, you know, because that's the only way you're going to change your life if you're going to have education. That didn't happen. We were sent back to my parents to live there. Things went on. We were just trying to be okay. They went on doing their thing. Um, and then I think I was 13 or 14, and like I say, there was always like mom and daddy fighting, everything. And I asked my father one day, why didn't he put me, why is he not putting us in school? Why didn't he put me in school? Why did he do that? Why did he take us out of school and stuff like that? And I couldn't just blame him because my mother's also to be blamed for that. Yes, I know she had a lot in the plate, but you must now see this man is not a benefit for you. He then made you into this monster, and you're now just a monster like him, but you continue to be with him. But anyway, and then I asked him to put me in school. You know what? He told me, why don't I put myself in school? I think I was 13 years old. He told me straight, why don't I put myself in school? How the hell can I put myself in school? At that time, education wasn't also free. And I couldn't put myself in school because I never had a birth certificate. When I went to go make an ID, I found out I was never registered. And my sister, we were never registered at birth. So I couldn't even go back to school, put myself into a school until I had my own ID. And I actually waited a year for that. And that's something I did by myself. Even my sister, I just had to be in a meeting with her, but she also went by herself. And she was actually grade 3 when they took her out of school. So everything that she knows today, she taught herself, and I taught her, but educationally. And today, she is a qualified teacher. She's in level 4 teaching. She's still going to do a matric, she told me. She's busy with it now. But look at where she came now, and I'm so proud of her. You see, for someone that had grade 3, check at the level she is today. Even me, and even my brother, like the level we at. I went to college with people that I had high education, and I didn't even have a high school. But you see how great Allah and our God is, how He made our brains. You see, and gave us wisdom. People would be like, really, did you were in high school, but you on the next level because we taught ourselves. And yeah, when I was like, yeah, in the time that these things were happening, like I said, there were good times. Everything wasn't bad, but most of the things were bad, guys. If I think back as a big person and an older person, most of the things were bad. It's not that I want to throw blame or things like that, but it wasn't right. And in the time now I was always business minded. Like I had this best friend. We would um we would like make uh, stuff, and like since I was young, I used to teach myself new skills in order so that I can make money. I would, I mean, I was 10 or 11, and I started to bake biscuits, guys, with custard and caramel and stuff in. I used to sell sweets. I used to sell toffee apples, and that also went well for a time. And then people don't want to come to your house anymore because things are going on at that house. So they don't want to